Hey guys, it's Tim Shermack, and welcome back to another episode of the Platform Marketing Show. I'm joined today by Platform Marketing Hall of Famer, Brittany Ovbey. Brittany, welcome back to the show.
Thank you. Thank you, Tim.
So, Brittany, you might be one of the longest tenured realtors in the entire platform program. I mean, I think you got in 2016, right?
Yeah, it was 2016. I believe it was April. So it's been, right at 10 years.
Yeah, so this is actually just a coincidence, basically. We're doing this episode on your 10th birthday in the platform marketing program. The reason I wanted to have you back on, and we'll get into probably a lot of things in this conversation, but just to kind of set the table, your business was kind of hovering around that 10 to 12 million mark, right? For a long time. And it kind of felt like this invisible plateau that you just couldn't punch through, and it goes without saying, many realtors would love to have their problem be, oh, I can't get through 12 million, as if that's not already impressive. But you had been at 12 million for a while. And then last year, what you did is you just basically increased the amount of energy that you were putting towards listing videos. And that did the trick. And what was your sales volume last year? What did you end at?
Right at 25 million.
Yeah. So, I mean, you quite literally basically doubled your business again, going from 12-ish somewhere around there to 25 million. And it was quite simple. You were doing all the same things you used to do before. You didn't make any radical changes other than you put more intentionality behind listing videos, and that made all the difference. So before we dive into that, of the specific things that took you from being around that 12 million to 25 million, let's go back in time, in this case, 10 years, and talk about what made you first interested in the platform marketing program. Because I remember very early years of platform, it was basically just me. And I did the first sales call with you. I remember I was walking around down Fifth Avenue in Naples, and I was on the phone talking to you. And I specifically remember, again, this is like 10 years ago. I don't know why my brain chose to remember this, but I remember that you were talking to me about, hey, I've done every coaching program, every marketing program out there. I've done Brian Buffini, or no, it wasn't Brian Buffini. You mentioned Craig Proctor.
Craig Proctor. Yeah.
Yep. You had done the Craig Proctor program about guaranteed your home sold or I'll buy it,
Yeah.
And that was top of mind for me because I had recently I think a year ago, I had been to a Craig Proctor conference way out in California. I went out there with my brother, Andrew, and we saw Interstellar in theaters. It's just a memory that I'll always have. And there was an earthquake while we were at the hotel out in California. So it was just like a memorable trip. So when you were I tried Craig Proctor, all that was fresh top of mind for me. And I still remember it 10 years later that you brought that up on this call. And I think the vibe of the call was, I remember you were very skeptical because you're like, hey, here's the thing, man. I've done all these marketing programs, all these coaching programs. How is your thing different? And whatever I said convinced you to sign up. I have no idea what I said, but you're still working with us 10 years later. So here's my question. What made you give us a shot, and what interested you in the platform strategy 10 years ago? And then the second question, follow-up, is what made you stick with it for 10 years? Because that's pretty remarkable to stick with a marketing agency for literally a decade, right?
Right.
I mean, how old were your kids 10 years ago?
Oh, wow. 11 and 13.
Yeah, exactly. Because I remember they were like kids, and now they're both full-blown adults, and your daughter just got married and everything. And it's so what made you reach out 10 years ago?
I saw you on Facebook, obviously. That's how I found platform. And most everybody will do their little research. I started looking to see who are his clients and watching their videos, and it just was different. And so I reached out to you.
Which is funny because I'm thinking back in time, I'm like, no one at that time was our clients because you were one of the first. So I probably didn't have a bunch of testimony. Yeah, right.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah. Well, and they were all friends. And I was like, well, wait a minute. Is this like a scam? Because they all know each other. How do they all know each other?
You're like, I found 3 really good testimonials, and it turns out
they all know
all 3 of our clients, right? All 3 of them.
Yeah. Well, so anyway, we had the sales call, and I had my husband on in the background because we worked together, and I was so interested in it. Normally I don't involve him. I'll just go tell him about it. But this time I said, you're going to listen to this. I think there's something to this. And you had proposed that you would do a consultation day with me to show me how to do the Facebook ads. And you showed me some examples. I took a bunch of notes, and I was like, yeah, let's do this. So remember, you came out to Atlanta,
Yep.
you did the coaching day for about a day and a half.
I think that was the first ever time, by the way, I stayed at a DoubleTree hotel. I also remember this because that was when I got addicted to the DoubleTree cookies because I was young. I mean, I was 23, 24 years old. And I was like, holy shit, a hotel that just gives you unlimited chocolate chip cookies the whole time you're there.
Oh
So
my
that's also one of
gosh.
my lasting memories of this
That's
trip.
funny.
Sorry, go on.
No, it's okay. So, yeah, you showed me how to post the ads myself. And then as the leads started coming in,
That's
we
right.
got
That's right. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, the whole genesis of the reason I went up there to do a marketing training day with you wasn't that you were joining platform. It was that you were going to hire me to teach you how to do all
yes.
this by yourself. That's right.
Right.
Okay. Yep.
Right.
Yep.
So you showed me how to follow up. I mean, the leads were just constantly coming in, and all these conversations started. And I was like, this is crazy. I had never had such immediate results with someone sitting in front of me saying, okay, here's what you do. And then all of a sudden, I'm actually seeing it happen in real time. And so you left after that weekend and you called me, I think it was maybe 2 weeks later, and you said, hey, I'm having a mastermind and it's in Tampa. And I know you're not a platform member, but I'm going to get approval from all the other platform people I work with, your team. I'm going to get approval with my team to see if you can come. And then you call me back and you go, yeah, everybody approved. Do you remember this?
I sort of do, but like I said, it's 10 years ago. So
So anyway, I did go to Tampa for one night for, I guess, the first mastermind.
yep. Yep. At the
Yeah.
Aloft Hotel in Tampa.
Yeah.
That's right.
In
Yep.
the hotel room.
Yeah. Again, it wasn't a conference room. It was
Right.
literally just we rented a hotel room and crammed everyone in there because we didn't have any money. So, yep.
Yeah. So after that, I don't remember, I can't pinpoint the one thing I walked away with other than just knowing that I had found something that I knew because I've been in real estate for so long. This is my 24th year. So back then, that would have been my 14th year. I told you I tried so many different things, and I was looking for something that was really going to transform our business because we were coming off of that great recession, and Mike and I had done a lot of foreclosure stuff.
Yeah. Yep.
And when we did that, we had actually let our sphere go to the wayside because that foreclosure business, it is intense. But once that started to kind of fall off and the foreclosures were going away, I knew I had to find something that was going to really fast track us, get us back to getting that sphere built and get our business rolling. And that's when I found you. And I knew that you were the answer. And so when I got back from Tampa from the mastermind, I remember telling Mike, I remember being on the phone with you. Actually, I was in the car and I said, just sign me up. Let's do it. And you were like, really? And I was like, yeah, I think I started it as of May 1.
Okay. Again, that was like 10 years ago now.
10 years,
It would have been spring of 2016,
2016.
which is crazy that we're doing a podcast episode now together
Yeah.
and you're still working with platform.
And I'll tell you, Tim, probably one of the most impressive things outside of what you were doing, what you were telling us to do, and the results that I knew I was going to get, just the way you work with your clients, you didn't require me to sign a contract. I mean, that immediately was like, okay, he's confident that he's going to get my business because he knows what he's doing. He knows I'm going to get results because he's not making me sign something to say I'm going to pay him a certain dollar amount every single month. So that was impressive. Obviously, the one realtor per market, knowing that if I did this, that nobody else was going to get my market. So those are the reasons, I needed to find something. I needed to find something that was going to help me fairly quickly. Although I know platform is not like sometimes an immediate thing, but I knew that just doing the long game of it, it was going to transform our business.
Just something that was different from everything else
That's
out
it.
there.
It was different. Yeah. It wasn't the same old thing. And I'm so glad I did it because I say this all the time. I'm either going to be dead or retired before my market becomes available.
And by the way, for those listening, where Brittany is, she's in like the northern Atlanta suburbs, Alpharetta and on northern Atlanta, right?
Right.
We get so many inquiries in your
I'm sure.
market and so many people want that area. It's like, nope, sorry. It's been taken literally for 10 years. So there's some people that are actually my Facebook friends that will comment kind of like sarcastically on my posts. Like, I keep asking, is platform available? And it's almost like they don't believe us. No, your market's taken and it's never going to be open because Brittany Ovbey is the client and she
Yeah.
has said that she will die before she gives up that platform territory. And they keep commenting on my posts. I think they think I'm lying. That when I say, no, we work with one realtor per area. And they're like, how is it not available yet? Because they're used to Zillow or whatever, where they do maybe one zip code or something, but they regularly open up all the time, and your market hasn't been open for 10 years.
Right.
So they just think I'm making it up.
Yeah. And I've done all that. I've done the Zillow, I've done the Realtor.com. And actually Zillow, to be honest with you, was probably my number one lead source prior to you.
No, yeah,
And
and you've been working with us long enough where we can look back at the economy and Zillow and everything. Like,
mhm,
Zillow worked honestly really well for a lot
yeah,
of agents, even in 2015, 2016, 2017, 2018. All those years, Zillow kept performing quite well.
yeah,
It's only been specifically in the last 2 or 3 years that we've seen a lot of our clients
from
tell
Zillow.
us, yeah, like, "Hey, I
Mhm,
used to spend a lot of money on Zillow, and
mhm,
it completely stopped working about 2
yeah,
years ago, so now I'm looking for something else." And that's how they either find platform or they were already a platform client, and they're just telling us
mhm,
like, "Hey, by the way, I have some extra money for ad spend now because all the
yep.
money I was spending on Zillow, I I stopped."
Well, and that's what I did. And I know you tell us, hey, if something's working, don't stop it. But what happened with me with Zillow was it was working, but I noticed it started to kind of fall off, and I was spending a good 1,200, 1,500 a month on Zillow, just for a small little piece of the market, and it started to really kind of fall off. And I had joined platform, and I was like, wait a minute, why am I doing this? I'm just going to put it into platform. So that's what I did. I just put the ad spend into that. Now I can't say I put all the 15, 12, 1,500 into it,
Yeah,
but
yep.
it helped me be able to invest more when I quit that Zillow. So,
And so again, here you are 10 years later, your business has grown to you did 25 million last year. What just 1 year just to, lay this math out, right?
mhm,
Just 1 year of growing from, let's call it 12 million to 25 million. So, approximately an increase of over $12 million in sales volume just in that
right.
1 year. That pays for platform.
Oh,
Well, more than pays for platform for the entirety of the decade that you've been
yeah,
working with us. Just that
sure.
1 year of
Yeah,
going from 12 to 25 million. And that's not
yeah.
even counting all the growth you had in the previous 10 year, right?
Right,
So
right.
like often I tell agents, I do not know of a single industry out there, maybe with the exception of like starting a venture capital backed software company that becomes worth $1 trillion after 2 years, right?
Mhm.
Like whatever the next Facebook or Google is, right? If that's not your plan, then I don't think there's a better industry than real estate where in 1 year
Yeah,
you can increase your income by 250, 300 grand like you can in real estate
right.
once you get your marketing
Yes.
dialed in. So you just have a really cool story where yes, your business grew. You were happy enough with platform to frankly stay with us for 7, 8 years, but still
Mhm,
you felt, okay, I feel like I kind of plateaued at, 11, 12, 13 million. And you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm guessing the thoughts that were kind of going on in your head is like, what am I doing wrong that I see other people in the platform hitting
mhm.
15, 20 million, and here I am, and I'm doing air quotes for those who are listening to the podcast. Here I am stuck
Yeah,
at, 12 million. What do I have to do to get over that hump and get to 20 million? And the answer was very simple. You just focused on putting more energy and more budget behind your listing videos. Walk
right.
me through what that process looked like. Was it Jordan who convinced you
It
to do that? Was it
Oh, yeah.
your idea? What did that look like in case there's a platform client listening to this episode right now and maybe they are stuck at 10 million or 12 million? Walk me through what that was like for you.
Okay, so one thing I will say, I was really stuck closer to right at 10, maybe up at 11 sometimes. It really was right at that 10 mark.
Okay.
And in 2020, I'm trying to remember my years here. So 2020, 2024, I had a really good year. I hit 16 million. So it went from 10 to 16. And I did I I was very consistent with listing videos, and I didn't put a ton of money. When I say a ton to me is $1,000
Yeah.
a video, but I was consistent. Every listing got filmed. I mean, I had a difficult year in 2023 with some personal things, but I made darn sure that every listing was filmed with a video. I may not have been the most consistent at some of the other market posts for Facebook that I should have been doing, but I never skimped on listing videos. And
Yep.
so that was 2024. And then at the end of the year, I had such a great year, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, I should have spent more on ads. I owe more in taxes than I should."
Yeah. Yep.
So in January, Jordan said, "Okay, Brittany, you need to just let what you had a great year last year. Why don't we put a strategy together of why don't you put $1,000 behind every video?" And I now let me back up too, because I did increase the ad spend in 2024, but not to that level.
Yeah. So
I mean, I was
that was probably part of the reason your business grew from 10 to 16 million in
yes.
2024 was like you increased your ad spend a little bit and you're
Hmm.
probably thinking, okay, if I increased it a little bit and it grew from
Hmm.
10 to 16 million, what would happen if I increased it even more the
Right,
next year?
right. So in January, on our very first call, she said, "Why don't you put $1,000 behind every video?" And I was for the first
Yeah.
quarter, and I'll go, "Okay, let's do it." And so, yeah, that's what we did, and it
And
was
I'm gonna hop in here
yeah.
and just add some context to just in case there's people listening to this that are not part of the platform marketing program. When we encourage our clients like Brittany to, hey, spend more on ads, put more money
Mhm.
into ads, that is not like because we're greedy and we're taking a cut of it. Like if Brittany spends more on ads, not a single penny of that goes to platform marketing.
Right.
That's just going towards Facebook ads. The reason we love it when our clients spend a little bit more on ads is because I think many agents underestimate how like asymmetrical the results are of spending more on listing videos specifically because if you can spend $500 on a listing video or really just go all in like Brittany did and like she was spending $1,000 on every listing video, that basically means every single one of your listing videos is going to get like 100,000 views
Yep.
or more. And when you do that consistently in a community, it doesn't take long to build a reputation of like whoever this Brittany Ovbey agent is, every single one of her homes she's selling is just getting a crazy amount of social media engagement. But again, platform does not take any cut of that. We're just telling and kind of advising our clients to do this because we know that it works, not because it's an upsell for us or something.
Right, right. And so yeah, once we did that, that was and I will say you mentioned that number of 100,000 views. I mean, mine are I've got some that are up close to 200,000.
Yeah, that's absolutely
Yeah.
crazy because you can go to a listing appointment and be like, "Hey, here's a recent home I listed and sold. Notice it has, whatever, 198,000 video views, not just impressions, but actual views." And it's like, well, what seller, if you show them that data, is going to be like, "Oh, I decided to list with another, realtor." It's just like they'd be an idiot to not work with you.
Honestly, Tim, it is my biggest value proposition when I go on into a listing appointment that I can tell with confidence and guarantee that seller that nobody is going to get as many views and eyes on your house than me in this market, and I can prove
Yep.
it. And I'll show the I bring my laptop, I show the views, I compare it to what Zillow gets, and it's impressive. So yeah, it definitely gives me an advantage on those listing appointments.
And it also helps you if you ever have, sellers that are thinking, hey, we're going to go into this listing appointment, but we want to work with Brittany, but we're going to try to negotiate her down on the commission. We're going to try to get her to list it for, 2% or 1.5% or whatever.
Right,
I don't know what your typical standard fee is. Insert disclaimer, commissions are always negotiable. Don't
right,
sue us. Um, but it means that in that moment, you can actually stick to your guns and say, hey, here's what I charge. This is my commission.
right.
And the reason I'm not willing to negotiate it is because I do so much more
Exactly.
to market your home than any other agent does. And if you show them all the data, it's like, oh, okay, yeah, she's not just making it up. Like she
Yep.
actually does do a lot more than other agents do.
That's right. That's right. Yeah.
So it's in early kind of Q1 of last year that you
Hmm.
just do this all out blitzkrieg of like, I'm gonna put more money and resources and like creative energy into these listing videos than I ever have before. Cause I'm assuming too, it's kind of this like self-fulfilling prophecy where if you put more money into the listing videos, you're probably going to also make sure that, hey, these videos better be creative. I'm gonna make sure these
Oh,
videos
oh
are
yeah.
good.
Oh yeah, no, my videos last year were definitely better than the previous year. I was definitely boring in, in 2023, and I can't say I'm like the most creative and fun person, but they definitely got better in 2024 for sure. Especially when you know you're putting that kind of money behind it.
Well, right, exactly.
And
It's just human
y-
nature
yeah,
that you're like, hey, if I'm gonna spend $1,000 blasting this video out to the greater like Alpharetta
yeah,
area, I'm going to make sure this video is creative and like represents me and my brand in a fun, creative way.
right.
If I'm putting that amount of, you know, money behind it. So yeah,
Well,
that makes sense.
you know what's funny? It just this just came to me. We went to dinner the other night, and the one of the servers, we know a lot of people at this restaurant, one of the servers, she looked at me and she goes, I love that video of you jumping in the pool with the pom-poms. And I went, what? And I was like, what? I mean, this is an old video from like June of last year. I said, how did you see that? She goes, I was looking at it on your page and I saw all your videos. I was like, oh my gosh.
That's so awesome.
Yeah.
And again, like you're in an area that has like a million people. So for
Yeah.
someone to recognize you out in public, it's not like you're in a small town that has 7,000 people where everybody knows everybody. I mean, for you to get recognized out in public in the Atlanta area is quite remarkable. It means that your videos have, quite a reach. So,
Yeah.
um
Oh,
talk to me about the conversations that you and Jordan had in that, how she convinced you to do it, if you ever had doubts about it, or if you were kind of just like, nope, we're doing this, I'm all in.
I was all in.
Okay.
I was all
Okay.
in. I knew that I knew it would work uh, because I had increased the ad spend. I feel like I was spending somewhere around maybe 500 a video in 2024,
Yeah.
and
Yep.
it
Which is
just so
still a lot. I mean,
right.
that's a lot, right?
Yep. And it so really, to jump another 500, it's not like going from 100 to 1,000. It was just like here's another
Sure. Sure.
500 per video. And so it was a no-brainer for me. And I said, let's give it a shot. And the funny thing is, my call with her this morning, she said, now some of it, I didn't continue with that all year last year. So this morning she said, let's go back to that $1,000. I said, okay, okay.
That's funny.
So, but yeah, I mean, I know it works. And I will say, one of the things I did a little differently last year that I didn't do in 2024, and this is something that I learned at the mastermind, was it was the 2024 mastermind because I didn't go to in 2023. I went to 2024. A lot of the a lot of the agents that were getting, like really explosive growth, one of the consistent things that I was hearing was they were posting on their personal page.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't
Yep.
all of my stuff was really just on the business page. And that was like my aha. I was like, wait a minute. That makes sense. I mean, why would I not post all of this stuff that I'm doing on my personal page? Because not all of my friends in my sphere and everyone I know, it follows me on my business page.
Yeah. Yep.
So I made that was a big change that I made in 2025.
Yep.
That was another big change that I made. I
Just
made
being,
sure.
yeah, just being more intentional that,
Mhm.
hey, if I'm going to be investing all this time and money on my social media strategy with paid ads, I should probably also be doing the things that literally don't even cost money, which is
Yeah,
just posting on your personal
yeah, and
profile.
posting both a combination. Just for anyone listening to this, I'm not the most consistent Facebook social media poster. I'm just a little more uncomfortable with it than more maybe the average person. So I don't think about it the way some people do. So I have to force myself to remember, oh my gosh, I need to do this. I need to
Yeah.
post this or take a picture here. So I had to be more intentional about it to both put personal moments and business moments on my personal page, not just post on the business. So I can't say I was the most consistent about it. And honestly, that is my goal this year is like, that's my word is consistency. I had to kind of get through my daughter's wedding the first quarter, but now it's all about being consistent about that, about
Yep.
what I'm posting, how often I'm posting, making sure that formula that we have for every month, everything, I'm doing all those things.
Yep. And Jordan said you spent like $800,000 on your daughter's wedding, so that consumed a lot of your energy. in Q1, and now you're ready to go because that's all over. She's married. It's like, hey, let's
On
grow the business again.
You know what? I think she even asked me right after the wedding about spending 1,000, and I shut her down real quick. I go, I listen. I go, I am so tired of seeing thousands of dollars go out at all these thousands and tens of thousands leave my bank account. I
Yeah,
need a breather, Jordan, just a breath, just a breather.
that's funny. But I mean, to be fair, maybe 10 years ago you wouldn't have ever imagined spending the money that you spent on your daughter's wedding
Yeah,
this year because your business wasn't where it was at, the
true.
last couple years. Okay, so would it be fair to say that what what took you from about 10 million to 16 million was a commitment to at least spending $500 on all your listing videos? Um,
Absolutely.
and what took you from 16 million to like 25 million was increasing it from 500 to $1,000
Yes.
on every listing video. And what is your average price point, just for reference, in your
My
area?
average sales price last year was probably about 700, 750.
Okay, so that's good perspective because maybe there's someone listening to this and they're like, "Wait, what? I live in a town where all the homes are 200,000. I can't be
Hmm.
spending $1,000 on every listing video." It's like, no, you don't have to at all. For you, you could accomplish the same thing by spending 400 or 500 because as a percentage of the as a percentage of the
Of the
commission,
price.
right? Yeah,
Yes.
it's like on a 700,000 some dollar, listing, you're probably making, 20 grand or almost 20
Right.
grand on most of those listings. So
Yeah.
spending $1,000 on a listing video is not a huge percentage of the eventual commission check. But if that means that all of your listing videos get 100,000 or more
Mhm.
video views, I mean, you uh, mentioned that you've had some get nearly 200,000
Mhm.
video views. It doesn't take very many of those transactions going on in the community and all the social proof that creates for
Correct.
people to realize, hey, if I'm going to sell my house, I'd kind of be a moron not to work with Brittany Ovbey because, again, look at how many video views and impressions and engagement she gets on the homes that she promotes compared to any other realtor
Right.
I've ever seen in the area. Because it's not like, oh, I'll do all this, but I charge 5% listing fees and everyone else, charges 3. It's like, no, I'm
No.
basically competitive with everyone else, except you get way more marketing um if you list with me. It's crazy how just like sometimes simple, it's not easy, but it's simple, right? How
Yeah.
simple that can be of, hey, just spend a little bit more on your listing videos and your business will grow. Cause I guarantee you there's agents listening to this right now. And as I say this, they're thinking, oh no, he's talking about me, right? That are stuck at 9 million, 10 million, 12.5 million, whatever. And for them, it would make all the difference in the world
Yeah.
just to start spending 500 on listing videos. But your story is, a cool example of what happens when you increase that to, spending a little bit more. And it's like, well, I went from 10 to 16 to 25 million.
It's scary when you do it. I will admit.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not like I said, "Oh, I'm all in," and then just forgot about it. I mean, yeah, it's scary to think, "Oh my gosh, I'm spending a lot of money here." But you just have to trust the process and the system. You know it works. Um, you have to invest in your business. I mean, period. And I've learned that
Yeah.
going to the masterminds. You can't just, if you're stuck somewhere, maybe you are doing the same thing over and over and over again. And I wasn't really changing anything, whether it was the ad spend or, just the things I was doing. I was following the platform strategy, but not really changing anything. So yeah, I had gotten to a level, yeah, 10 million
Well,
is a
also, I
great.
mean, also just purely inflation. I mean, this is kind of funny thinking in hindsight, but it's true. If you were spending, I don't know, I'm just going to pick a random number and say for much of your platform tenure, you were spending about $1,000 a month on ads, let's say. It's like, well, if you started spending $1,000 a month on ads back in 2016, by the year 2023, 2024, $1,000 is not what it used to be. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
you're actually spending a lot less relative to the value of the dollar than what
Yeah.
$1,000 was 10 years ago.
Yeah.
So it makes perfect sense that your business would suddenly grow when you increase that because
Hmm.
when you're looking at something 10 years ago, we've had a shitload of inflation in this,
Oh yeah.
in this country in the last 10 years. And so a
Yeah.
lot of agents haven't like updated their marketing budget to reflect that. And
Right.
you had the courage to do that.
Yeah.
It reminds me what Josh Burnett recently said on a platform podcast, and I might be paraphrasing a bit here, but what Josh said is, hey, when I signed up for Platform, I hadn't had a closing in more than 90 days.
Mm.
And so I signed up for the Platform program, not because I had a bunch of money to spend, but because I wanted to have
Mm-hmm.
a bunch of money. I was not signing up from this spot of, oh, I got tons of money in the bank, all the savings, so I'll comfortably sign up with Platform. It's like, no, I didn't have money. And that's the exact reason I started the strategy, is because I
Oh,
knew this strategy would help me get the money.
Tim, I've told you this before that Platform literally saved our business because we had, when we were coming off that great recession and those foreclosure listings were drying up, I didn't really have a sphere. I mean, I was kind of like Josh, what you just said about Josh. I mean, when I signed up for Platform, I did it because I needed to make money, and I knew that you were my saving grace, honestly. I don't know, and that's why I'm still here today, 10 years later. I really don't know what I would have done had I not found a Platform. I'm sure I would have survived, but not grown and be to the point where I am today without Platform.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's super cool to hear, because I mean, I've gotten to know you over the years. Obviously, if you work with Platform for 10 years, you're not going to like not get to know Tim, and vice versa.
Yeah.
And you're just a good person. You're a cool
Well, thank
person. And it's cool seeing like
you. Ditto.
good people win. Right.
Thank you. Yes.
Um, and so, okay, you mentioned the mastermind a couple times.
Yep.
Um, what what is the impact? And I'm going to ask this question kind of from the perspective of maybe someone who's like not really familiar with Platform,
Okay.
or maybe someone who just signed up, so they don't really know how the Platform community works.
Right.
Um, what does the mastermind mean to you, and how has that been an important part kind of the Platform recipe? I mean, just like the actual annual mastermind event, but also just the
Hmm.
Facebook group we have, and kind of
Okay.
that whole sense of Plat fam and community.
Sure.
How has that factored into your success? Because I've heard you mention it already several times
Hmm.
unprompted in this conversation.
Well, let's start off with talking about the mastermind, then I'll talk about the Plat Fam, in our group and all that. So the mastermind is, I've been to conferences. I've been to a lot, being in the business for 24 years. Most of them are paid. Most of them are people selling you things the whole time. And, rah, rah, great. Your mastermind is, first of all, you don't charge for us. We just have to pay to get there and pay for our hotel. There is no fee to be there. And I'm speaking to as if someone who's never heard of what this Platform mastermind is all about. It is where we all get together, and Tim has some of the most amazing speakers, and they're not always real estate. And that's, I think, what I love the most about it is that you have so many different, a broad mixture of subjects that I never would have thought that I'd be learning about at a real estate conference. Uh, it's a way to bond with the rest of the members in the Plat Fam, because we get to know each other. We have the Facebook group, like Tim just said, it's called the Plat Fam. We get to know each other there. We share our successes. We ask questions, share our stories, everything. But then when we get to that mastermind and we get to hang out and meet each other and just go out and have lunch and have dinner and just really get to know each other on a personal level, I have built some really amazing deep friendships with agents all across the country. And it is a family. I mean, I've never seen a culture of agents or a company. It's not just the agents together. It's a combination of platforms, culture, what you've created, Tim, and it's kind of trickled down into this group that we call Plat Fam. That's all the members in Platform, and it is a tight knit. I mean, just supportive, uh, friendships, and I don't, I almost can't even use enough adjectives to
Yeah.
describe how amazing it is. And it is one of the benefits that I didn't realize I would get joining Platform was, the benefit of all these friends that I've made, and these are top-notch agents, and so I can refer anybody confidently. If I have a client that needs someone in Texas or Florida or anywhere, I'm confident that if you're in the Plat Fam, that I could call you up and refer that person and know that they're going to be taken care of because you are top notch if you're in this group.
Yeah. And I didn't know it was going to become anything like that. We just started hosting these live events, these masterminds, because I figured, hey, it'd be good to get people in person to hang out and meet each other so that they
Yeah.
know that, frankly said, they know that they're not the only client. There are other people that are working with us, right? And now it's kind of just evolved into this thing where there's like hundreds of people who come to the platform mastermind every year. And I know that like Gary Keller probably trademarked this and he'll sue me for saying this, but like obviously the annual event for Keller Williams, or at least one of them, is they call it the family reunion,
Yeah.
right? And that's great, brilliant branding. Shout out to them for coming up um, with that brand name for their event. But like the platform mastermind, like actually feels like a family reunion
Oh, it does.
because it's not 10,000 people where you don't know anyone there. It's like
Right.
there's a couple hundred people. And for a lot of these agents, like you are their legitimate friends.
Oh,
And
yeah.
it might be the one time a year you actually get to hang out with
Yep.
them in person. And it just feels different than other events. Like you
It
said, I,
does.
I think this is just my theory. Maybe I'm wrong, but I think part of it's because we don't charge for it. Like the moment you charge for an event or conference, you feel like, hey, I paid money, therefore this is a product, or that,
Hmm.
that I'm experiencing. And when you go hang out with friends, well, you don't pay to hang out with your friends, you just show up and hang out with friends. And so I think like subconsciously, we don't charge for it, right? It's just like, hey, show up, book your hotel, and like we we don't even charge $100 for it, right? Like most of these other
Right.
conferences are $1,000 or 1,500 or whatever. Like we don't literally charge anything. It's just show up, and I think that helps people kind of lower their guard.
Yeah, it does. And because, when you go to those conferences where it's like every speaker has something they're selling,
Yeah, 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 yeah.
it's exhausting.
That too. Yes. Yep.
Yes. I mean, it's like I've been sold enough, and then the people hosting the event are trying to sell coaching and whatever, and I'm
Right.
just like,
Exactly.
I don't want to be sold to
And
anymore. I'm
there's
done.
there's a huge sponsor floor with all the people sponsoring the conference that are
Yes.
kind of like annoying you as you
So
walk in and out. Yeah. Yep.
yeah, so we don't. It's none of that at Tim's the platform mastermind. You don't get any of that. It's all collaboration. It's all learning, and then hanging out with amazing people and making new friends. And I'll tell you, I've only missed the ones I've had really good reasons why when I've missed, and it's been something like very personal that I just couldn't be there for a very personal reason. Like I'm not going to miss it unless there's a very, very good reason why. So if you're in the platform and you have never been, get your butt there in September.
Yeah. There's a couple people that are in platform that have not been to a mastermind, and I will just publicly call them out and say you are crazy because
Crazy.
we actually, like, the actual stat is it depends from year to year. We've had as high as 90% of clients attend the event, but usually it's
Wow.
for sure around 80. So let's just say 80 to be conservative. Like, I mean, 80% of our clients go to the event every year. So if you're in platform and you don't go to the mastermind in person, like you are in a small 20% minority. I mean, literally 4 out of 5 of our clients are there hanging out in person, grabbing dinner
Oh,
at night, grabbing drinks, having breakfast in the morning,
yeah.
grabbing coffee together, when you meet other people that are following the same strategy, and it doesn't even matter what brokerage you're with, right? That's the cool thing
No,
is no one cares
doesn't
whether
matter.
you're with Remax, Real, KW, EXP, Coldwell, whatever, right? No one
Right.
cares. It's like
Nope.
what everyone has in common is their marketing strategy. And
That's right.
because it's one client per market,
Yeah.
everyone is willing to share their best ideas, what's working, what's not working, whether or not it's even a marketing idea. Sometimes you're swapping ideas on how you hired your TC or how you trained in
Right.
whatever. It doesn't even have to be platform or social media
Absolutely. Yeah.
related.
Right. Right. Yeah, no, it's like I won't. I'm looking forward to the September one. I will not miss any more. And you have FOMO when you see all those people posting on Facebook.
Yep.
It
Yep.
sucks if you're not there.
Well, again, it sucks because like so many people there, so it
Yeah,
feels like
yeah.
all your friends are getting together without you,
Oh
right?
yeah, yeah,
That's what makes it feel so different from other conferences. I mean, by the way, I love conferences. I love going to conferences. I love learning and
yeah.
professional development and all that. And even when I go to some conference where I don't know people, I still typically have fun and I learn. But
Right.
that's what makes this one different is that imagine going to a small event. I mean, I think last year we had almost 250 people. This year it's probably going to be closer to like 300.
Wow.
And yet almost everyone knows each other. It's like you
Yeah.
get there and immediately you know dozens of people. It's like,
Yep.
oh, there's Brittany, there's Jill, there's Josh, there's,
Yep.
and you know all these people. And it feels like, oh, I'm cool. I'm seeing my friends again, even though maybe some of them you haven't even seen them literally since last year's mastermind,
Exactly. Yes.
but you
Yes.
just
You're
pick up.
hugging.
Yeah, you like pick up
You're
right where you
hugging.
left off. It's as
Yes.
if you saw them last week. Like you've got to get to the mastermind if you're in the platform program.
Yes.
And if you're listening to this and you're not in the platform program, this is a huge reason to join. Is you get access to the platform community. I won't name this person by name because I don't know if they told me this in confidence or not, but someone told me recently, like in the last month, that they're like, hey, I hope you keep doing our marketing and I hope that platform keeps managing all my Facebook ads and editing all my videos, and all that. They're like, that's super valuable. But I just want to tell you, Tim, if platforms stopped doing all that and you guys literally just charged the fee just for me to be a member of this Facebook group, like I would probably still stay, because to me, having access to that mastermind group is worth the platform fee, even completely independent of, obviously it's a marketing agency and
Uh,
that's technically what I'm paying for. And I was like, well, you have nothing to worry about. We're not going to stop that anytime soon, but that's good feedback to hear that.
That's funny because honestly, I think I could agree with that. Yeah, honestly, I mean, I
Yeah.
wouldn't want to. I wouldn't want to not have my platform connections through the Facebook group if something ever were to stop
Yeah.
the platform. It would suck.
And, that's why you're still here 10 years later is, yeah, obviously the marketing had to work to a certain extent, or else you wouldn't
Sure.
have stayed even 1 year, much less 10 years. But
Right.
it's that sense of community and the network and knowing that you can send referral. I mean, you've probably gotten referrals from platform agents too.
Oh, a ton, and I give them out.
Yep.
It is the first. I'm looking for an agent in the market that I'm looking for. I'm looking for a platform agent first, and
And
I'm
you
in
are,
Remax.
yeah. So say
I
you're with
mean,
Remax. What
yeah.
most people do, and whether you're with Remax, KW, EXP, whatever, right? Pretty much any agent in the country, if they have a referral, and let's just say they're with Remax, the first thing they do is they reach out to
Mhm.
like the Remax agent or broker in an area. They're like, hey, I have a potential referral. Most people call and they try to keep it within their brokerage, right?
Right.
Um, what you'll find in the platform community is like no one gives a shit what brokerage you're with. Again, like I don't care if someone's with Remax. If I have a referral, moving to McKinney, Texas, it's like, well, I'm gonna call Leslie Remy, and Leslie is not with
Right.
Remax, right? And I don't care what brokerage she's with. I'm gonna send my referral to the Remy team because I
Mhm.
know Steve and Leslie and their platform, and that matters more to me than what brokerage
Right.
someone is or isn't
Well,
with.
and honestly, Tim, even if I mean, a lot of times I'm sending the referral without really knowing the agent. I just did that this year with Jay Lynn. I had a
Oh,
referral
yeah. Yeah.
Alabama.
Yep.
I can't remember the city, but it doesn't matter. But I mean, this was a friend of mine. Actually, this is a crazy story. I actually met her but through a text I'd sent out about the coffee. What's the coffee? There's a coffee company that's like veteran owned and
Oh, a Black Rifle.
Black Rifle.
Yep.
Yes. Okay. So I did this years ago. I sent the text out to my database, hey, if you know any veterans, I'll send them a free, thing of coffee. So I met her this way and I ended up selling her son a townhouse, but she was a lead that came through that.
Okay.
I got her son, and then there's actually another personal crazy story. I won't go there, but we have a connection that through college.
I'm still here. I think I lost my
Okay,
video feed, but I'm still here.
yeah. So and then it was her father-in-law that needed to move here, and so I mean, I'm saying like this is a very good friend that, and I didn't know Jalen, but I knew that
Yeah.
if you're in platform, that you're going to be. It was a listing referral that you're
Yeah.
going to be doing those videos and you're going to get the most exposure for this client,
Yep.
and that's I had no concerns whatsoever, even though I didn't know her because
Yeah.
she is.
Yeah, because if she's in the platform, then I can trust her, right?
Exactly.
There's
Yeah.
like this automatic inherent loyalty that, and not even loyalty, but just trust that, like,
It's
hey,
trust.
like, again, you could be in Alaska, you could be in Texas, whatever. It's like, if you're in the platform, we probably also have a shared sense of values about, hey, we
Yes.
will do right by clients. We will do the right thing. We're going to do the best marketing we possibly can do. Like, you just know that if you send a referral to an agent in the platform, that they're in good hands, right?
That's it. Absolutely. And so, and that's been another nice benefit to receive those referrals on my end too. So,
Yep. Yep.
that's, I still get Remax referrals, but I get more platform referrals than anything.
And, on top of all that, right, like the actual mastermind event, meeting with people in person, we've got the Facebook group. And like, I think most marketing companies will talk about, oh, we have a, whatever, a Y Local Facebook group, or we have a Curator Facebook group. And it's like, yeah, most of those Facebook groups are basically just tech support for you to bitch
Hmm.
when you have a problem.
Yeah.
Like, they're not actually communities. They're not
No,
sharing ideas and, actually mastermind together. They're just basically glorified tech support groups.
they
When you
are.
when you when
And
you have a problem, you post in there.
I'm in plenty of those for like my CRM,
Right.
for
Right.
other
Yep.
things, where, yeah, that's all it is. It's like people asking questions. It's not a community. It's
Right.
just, yeah.
It's like, I got locked out. I forgot my password. Can someone help me? Right. It's like, that's not what the posts in the platform are. It's like, actually it functions as a mastermind group. Again,
Hmm.
I wish I could take credit for having this genius, brilliant business plan where that was my plan all along. It just kind of evolved and happened that way.
Yeah.
Like, more, we added people to the group, more and more people joined, and they started interacting together. And I think we attract kind of like a like-minded, agent with
Hmm.
shared values. And a lot of the people just kind of vibe together. It's why when we hang out in person, everyone immediately typically becomes friends, is
Yeah.
because so many people have so much in common. Or how when we sponsor a rodeo in the middle of nowhere, people show up and they hang out for a couple days, and it's like, somehow we have fun,
Okay.
because
Well, I haven't been to the rodeo, just, full disclosure.
well, you should join us this year. We actually just rented a luxury box suite at the Twins game the night before the rodeo. So if you want to come up to
Nice.
Minnesota and go to a Twins Dodgers game and see Otani, you can join us for that.
Nice.
But anyways, like, it's fun. I wish I could take credit for planning it. Like, it was my evil genius plan that we're gonna, cultivate this sense of community, but it kind of just
Happened.
it just happened that way. And it's been a really cool kind of side effect of running this platform business over the years, that that community is so strong. So talk to me a little bit. I want to wrap up our conversation here about, why have you stayed for 10 years, right? Because that's so rare in not just the real estate world, but the marketing world, to stick with one agency for literally a decade, right? Of all the other marketing companies out there you could join, all the new things popping up every year that you could kind of, with a shiny object syndrome, you could be like, hey, I'm going to work with this new company instead. You've stuck with platform. I'm assuming Jordan, your account manager, is a part of that calculation. Like, what does Jordan mean to you, and the fact that you get to keep working with
Sh-
with Jordan? And I
She's
mean,
incredible. She's
how many
incredible.
how many years have you worked with Jordan, by the way?
Uh, I don't know, Tim. I would say
Because
at
she
least
she started
5.
working at platform, I think, in 2020, like early
I, wa-
2020.
I was gonna say I think it's been about five
Okay.
years that we've been working together. Somewhere I don't know the exact, but somewhere around. It's a long
Yeah.
time.
Yep.
No, she I consider Jordan a friend. I mean, like, she's not just my account manager; she's a friend. And I mean, she's actually come into town. She and John, her husband, have come and visited and stayed at a hotel in Alpharetta, and we went down. We went to the Speakeasy and hung out. I mean, that's that's more than just an account manager.
Yeah.
But she is phenomenal. She is the best the copywriter, like her ad copy.
Yep.
I can tell her and kind of brain dump what I'm trying to get out,
Yeah.
and I'll send it to her, and it's, not that great. And then, man, the stuff she comes back with, I'm like, this is incredible. She is so good.
Yeah.
So yes, she's 100% in that equation as to why I'm still with platform after 10 years. It's a combination of so many things, Tim. I mean, obviously it works. It's part of my business. I'll never change this strategy. I will always do the things that platform tells me to do, the way I run my social media and the way we market our listings. So that's a lot of it, obviously. And, Nobody else is competing with me in my market for platform. It's the Plat Fam is a big part of it, and honestly, the masterminds. I mean, it's a combination of all of that that I just would never ever ever want to not have in my life. And I saw this from the start. I started, let's say, 2016, and seeing my business really take off and kind of grow and get to that 10 million. I knew then, even say 8 years ago, that I would never leave this company or this strategy, that this would always be a part of my business. But that as your company grew and everything started evolving with the masterminds that you would put on and the platform growing, it just became even bigger as far as like the reason to be a part of this. It just exponentially, the value that you get being in this group of like-minded people with not just the platform, but the platform people that work for platform. I mean, it's everybody
Yeah.
involved that is just amazing. I've
Yeah. I don't,
never Go ahead.
I said, I don't claim to be like the greatest, entrepreneur in the history of the United States or something. But if I've done anything right with platform, it's like hiring really good people that are culture fits, not just people that can do the job, but like always making sure that we hire someone who's
Yes.
a culture fit, because the team that we have, I just feel like, hey, when we hang out with clients, we have fun because everyone's kind of a shared values
Yeah.
culture fit. And I'm not even sure exactly how I'd put that into words other than it's like, hey, if we're in Naples and we're going to Seed to Table, or we're going to grab pizza at Black Sheep, or we're frankly, anywhere else, if we're, up in Idaho this year at the mastermind and we're
Hmm.
going to go grab dinner and drinks, it's like, if I put a bunch of clients at a bar with a bunch of our platform account managers, let's say, will they have fun? And it's like, if the answer is yes, we'll hire them. And if it's like, no, I don't think, it's like, no, we probably won't hire them then. Like, they have to be a culture fit. And we've stuck to that over the years. And I think this is kind of the result of
Yeah.
that because,
It's
yeah,
That's clear. Yeah. Yeah. So, I hope a lot of you who are newbies, or maybe you're a few years in, you're starting to see all those benefits that I mentioned, because it's more than just the business. It's not just about the money that you're making. There's a lot of intangibles you're getting that are so valuable and beneficial to my life to be a part of this group.
yeah, again, I don't know how we've done it. It's kind of just an accident, like a happy accident, right? But
Mhm.
as platform has grown over the years, we've kind of defied the odds that most companies, the bigger they get, like especially service-based companies, right?
Yeah.
The bigger they get, the worse they get.
Yeah.
Because
No, not you.
typically as you scale, well, I mean, honestly, like as you scale, you have to add layers of management. Now there's a layer of middle management.
Hmm.
Um, Often companies take on investors, they sell to private equity, or they 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 start getting really focused on the numbers, and they make decisions based on spreadsheets, not on
Yeah.
like just, human wisdom. And so most companies, I mean, probably the most straightforward way of saying it is most companies get worse as they get bigger.
Yeah.
From the
Yeah.
client's perspective, they get worse as they get bigger.
Right.
And maybe you're still getting enough value to justify paying them, so you stick around, but you would quietly say amongst other clients, oh, things were way better 3 or 4 years ago. It's still fine, but they were better 3 or 4 years ago.
Hmm.
Somehow platform has kind of like done the opposite, where you kind of
Hmm.
hinted at this, but I think it's actually gotten better
Yeah.
over the years, because as more cool people are added to the platform, the plat fam, as long as the caliber of people that keep signing up are culture fits, the network and the tribe actually gets more valuable as we've grown, and we've still like retained that special culture. Again, I don't know how, but it feels like we have. And so that's why we keep doing the masterminds, is because we
But
need to hang out with people in person.
and you said it way better than I was trying to say it, but that's exactly what I was trying to say. Is just that the bigger it gets, the better it is, because you have even more people
Yeah.
that are like minded and doing the things that you're doing or you're learning from, that are just amazing. So,
Who are some of the, I don't know, can you rattle off 2 or 3 people or 4 people in the platform that you've become friends with over the years that you like look forward to seeing
oh
at,
gosh.
at every mastermind?
So Angela Musgrave and we talk a lot. um, I mean, I'm scared I'm going to leave someone out. So I, I love the Remy's, and I've had so much fun hanging out with them at the masterminds. Of course, Sandy Smith. I love Sandy, Jill, and oh my God, Tim, you're putting me on the spot.
Like, people are going to be so mad at me
I
at the
know.
mastermind that I didn't mention their name on the podcast episode.
Oh my gosh, no. There's just
Yeah.
honestly,
Well,
it's like
yeah, I'll stop you there, and I'll just
yeah,
say, like, for those listening, just realize, without any prompt, without any research, she didn't have any time to think. She just rattled off like half a dozen names, right? There's not a lot of marketing programs or companies out there that if you ask a client who are some of your favorite other clients, or just immediately without thinking, they can rattle off half a dozen names. I think that speaks to like how many, like, not just colleagues, but how many actual friends you've made in the platform
yeah,
over the
yeah,
years.
yeah. I mean, it's literally when we're showing up and seeing each other, we're hugging. It's not just like, oh hey, how you been? No, it's a hug. So and it's more than half a dozen people
Yeah.
that we're hugging. So it's awesome.
Brittany, let me end with a really kind of practical, tactical question. What has been
Okay.
your favorite platform ad of all time that you've ever done in the last 10 years?
Oh my gosh, Tim, put me on the spot. You mean like any ad or?
Yep, any ad, whether it was a video, a photo ad, like any ad.
Okay, so I would say my absolute hands down favorite was during COVID when we did God Made a Small Business Owner. I mean that was I was the most proud of that one, and I loved the ad copy, and then being able to reach out to so many different businesses and try and help them during such a difficult time. That was probably the most not just like proud, but just like knowing I was helping people.
Yeah. Yeah.
It wasn't about me. I mean, it was really about helping the community.
And
Um,
by the way, I've been telling this to some clients who did that ad, because that ad we did for a lot of people like 5 years ago, right?
yeah,
Actually more than 5 years ago.
it was COVID.
Yeah, it was like 6 years ago.
Hmm.
Oh my God, it's crazy. That was 6 years ago
Yeah,
now. That was like the worst couple years ever. Oh my God, I hated everything that went
I
on during those
know.
couple years. But all right, cool. So that was an awesome ad. What I've been telling people is redo the ad and just pick entirely new businesses this time.
It's so funny you just said that because I was thinking about it the other day, literally like 2 days ago. I was driving by one of the restaurants I had focused, and they've like sold, and it's something different. And I thought to
Yeah.
myself,
Yeah.
how many of those businesses are no longer either they sold or they're no longer in business? It's kind of crazy. And I thought that maybe I should do it again.
Well, because like honestly, no one's gonna remember a video you
No.
did 6 years ago. So if you did it again and just picked entirely new businesses, it would
Yeah.
have the same impact now. Because now, I mean, you have kind of the courage to, like, you probably would put $1,000 behind it, and back then people were putting like a couple $100
Yeah.
behind the video. So
Yeah.
imagine what a new updated 2026 edition of that video would be with entirely new businesses if you put $1,000 of ad spend behind. I mean, it'd be pretty
Hmm.
cool.
Yeah. Yeah. I have to mention, I do like, even though it kind of brings out some trolls, I do like the one, like pack your bag, the 5 reasons to pack your bags or
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
and move to Alpharetta. I
Yep.
did like that one too. So that was kind of more of like a static, just a one picture post with a
Yep,
bunch of
just a
ad
photo.
copy.
Yep,
Yeah.
just a photo. Yeah, but it gets a
Hmm.
ton of engagement because
Yeah.
everyone loves to share their opinion, good or bad, on moving to Alpharetta and why people should or shouldn't move there.
Yeah.
And but it all positions you as being a champion of the community, right?
Right.
So, well, Brittany, thanks for your time. I know that
Sure.
you are just some inside baseball here for those listening to this. Like, we had to go back and forth so many times to find a date. And I think the previous time we had you on the podcast, which is like years ago now, like, I think we had to reschedule 2 or 3 different times because,
Yeah.
like, you kept getting like $1 million listing appointments. I'm like, oh, sorry, I have to cancel. I have another $1 million listing appointment. And I was like, okay.
Yeah. That's what happened the last time.
Like, yeah,
Yes.
it's like, all right, I will grant you that excuse. That's a good platform excuse for rescheduling a podcast, is the marketing is working so well that you
Yep.
keep getting these like luxury listing appointments. But you are busier than ever. Your business has grown. I couldn't be more happy for you. And I'm really grateful, by the way, that I'll just personally say this, that you took a chance on platform, which is really a chance on me, because like platform was just me. back in 2015 and 2016, you had no reason to trust someone as young as me. I was like 24 years old at the time, which, how old is your son?
He's turning 24 in July. No,
Yeah.
no, no,
So,
wait, 20, yeah, 24, yeah.
so
Think about it.
I was his age
Wow.
when you hired me for platform,
Okay, that's crazy.
to put that into perspective.
Yeah, I hadn't
So
thought of it from that.
I don't take it for granted at all these
Wow.
people that were willing to give platform marketing a shot in the early days, and you've still hung around, and we've grown with you, and vice
Yeah,
versa. And now look at where your business is. I mean, you probably never would have thought in a million years, I bet, back in 2015, 2016, that your business would be at $25 million
no,
in
no,
sales volume.
no.
And then, by the way, Brittany does not have a team, so it's like Brittany, right, is doing 25 million
Well, my
in
husband
sales
works
volume.
with me,
Yeah, yeah,
so
right.
yeah.
But like, it's not like you have a team of 5
No.
buyers agents or something, right?
Mm-mm.
It's like that's your production, so you're keeping the commission on that 25
Right,
million
right.
in sales volume. So I'm just so happy for you. That's
Well,
super
thank you,
cool, and
and
I'm grateful that you gave me the opportunity way back when.
well, I am grateful that I'm part of the Platt fam, and that, I'm so happy to see your success and the whole company's success. It's pretty cool. Excited for y'all.
All right, and I'll finish this by saying a shout out to Jordan. You're an amazing account manager. People
Yes.
like Brittany have had a lot of success um, because of the copywriting and the creativity that they get from amazing account managers like you. So shout out to
Yes.
Jordan if you're listening to this, guys. If you want to connect with Brittany, would you be willing to share your cell phone quick in case anyone
Yeah.
wants to connect with you?
Yeah. It's 770-778-6182.
Again, that's Brittany Ovbey, who's been in the Platt fam for over 10 years now. Brittany, thank you for your time. And guys,
Thanks,
we'll see
Tim.
you on the next episode of the Platform Marketing Show.